Welcome back. November 11th is opening day for open season for federal employees this year, but decision season starts right away for some federal employees. Shane Canfield is Chief Executive Officer at WAEPA. Shane, it's great to see you again. Thanks for coming on the program. What do people, as they start to think about open season and the decisions that they're going to make, what do they leave out or what do they miss, do you think?
Great to see you, Francis. November and December every year is our busiest season. It's not because there's an open season on the federal life program, although about every decade they have one. But during health season, people have opened their budgets, they've opened their checkbooks, and they're looking at where the money's going. Life insurance costs a lot less than health insurance, of course, but while you're doing the planning, life insurance is a big part of that.
What should people think about as they're thinking about what their decisions are, what their options are for life insurance in conjunction with what they're doing for open season?
Yeah, I would say the personal financial planning, make sure you look at your needs for life insurance, and that would include current debt. That's the one everybody thinks about, your mortgage. But the other piece that people often miss is the lifetime earnings, because if you're 50 years old and you're going to be working for another 15, 20 years, you have to multiply that out as well. So those are the two big ones.
There's an option that employees have. FEGLI is one, yours is another. What are the pros and cons of some of the different options that are out there, Shane?
We were created in 1943. We predate the federal benefits offering. That was done in the 1950s. And we have 50,000 people on the plan. It's very strong. It's a group plan, which means we're all pooled together. The principal differences are we cost less, that's one, and always have. We offer up to $1.5 million worth of coverage, which is far more than the FEGLI program. We have a couple of riders which are unique. We have a long-term care rider which looks a little like long-term care. It's not precisely that product, but that's a tremendous value. Over half of the people that buy life insurance from us now add that. So we have some differences. The biggest one is that if you leave federal service, you can take our plan with you. No employer, that's not a knock on FEGLI, no employer plan offers that. But in our case, no matter what you do, whether it be retirement, moving on to some other career, you can take it with you.
Why is life insurance broadly something that the average federal employee needs to think about, Shane?
Generally, people don't have enough. And this is borne out with study after study, and that includes the federal population. The other thing that scares people a little bit is it's a perception that's incorrect that it costs a lot more than it does. It really is not expensive, especially with health insurance. Health insurance, 10 to 15 grand per individual. Life insurance, our average premium is about $800 a year.
Mm-hmm. What is enough? How do I know that I do have enough, and how do you advise people to make that decision when they're thinking about this?
I would go back to covering current debt, mortgage, college for your kids, the immediate debt, and then use the framework of how many more years do I expect to be living, and if I'm not here, then my loved one has to cover that amount. I lean towards that, Francis, rather than you do hear 5 times income, 10 times income. I think those are a little too vague. I would say go to our website. Even FEGLI has a calculator. They're everywhere. Or you can call us and talk about it. But I would say those two big buckets, if you cover those, you're good.
We have about a minute left, Shane. What do you advise folks that feel a little squeezed, that are going, well, I'm not sure how I'm going to wedge this into my budget with everything else that's going on?
That's a struggle. I would say plan with your budget to be able to get life insurance. If you want to save some money, it's self-serving, but we do cost less than FEGLI. And FEGLI or us, we all cost less than individual private plans. We're a group, we're all pooled together, we're a single risk pool, just like FEGLI, the employer plan, and this really does save costs.
Shane, it's great to have you on the show. Great to see you again. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Francis.
You can read more about open season on today's show page at fedgovtoday.com.